City Walk. So I'll be there throughout the summer, Friday through Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. doing giveaways, dancing, and all that jazz. And I'm a really good friend of the Nájeras and have performed on this stage, Latino Logs, and done a special reading called Sweet 15 with Rick Nájera himself. So first of all, I'd like to welcome you to this beautiful, beautiful theater. It's one of my favorite theaters in Oxnard. In fact, the only theater I've gone to here in Oxnard. But it is the cleanest spot. I mean, compared to the theaters I've been there from the 1920s, the one in Los Angeles, and this theater, you guys are privileged to be here, so give yourselves a big round of applause, and we thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm kind of sad though, this is this is the season finale of Latino Thought Makers. Who's been to Latino Thought Makers before? Raise your hand. You have? What is your name? Mike, what was your favorite memory from the Latino Thought Makers series?
It had to be Bob.
Bob?
Bob is.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Could you tell other people who Bob is?
He was one of the co-stars for La Bamba. If you know who I'm talking about.
Okay, so there's a lot of mystery around what you're talking about. Do you guys know what he's talking about? Oh, okay.
That's exactly right.
So we have a distinguished guest, as you will see. In fact, if you haven't been here, I think we can roll the Latino Thought Makers series reel. Is that part of the program today? Can it? Not just yet. Oh, in a few minutes, if you have never been here, you will see on the screen what Latino Thought Makers is all about. And you'll see a lot of Hollywood elites that Rick Nájera has brought to this stage. So if it's your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Again, there'll be a Q&A at the end and a special award ceremony for 2 recipients. I don't want to spill the beans, so to speak, but this is all about the ladies. So, and I see a lot of ladies, especially young ladies in the audience. So look around how many young women will be hopefully inspired by today's talk. And without further ado, I'm going to divert your attention to the screen. So let's watch. Here we go.
My grandfather started Logan Heights, the barrio. Before then, it was a very boring middle-class white neighborhood. The white people left and it got really fun. So I believe that we have a chance to really say something different that no one's ever said before. And this is a program started by people of color, reaching across the board, talking to people, and starting Latino Thought Makers. Because what this is our community meeting.
What starts here can go national. That's the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Mr. Edward Gentile.
How come everybody uses the word race as if there's a black race, a white race, a brown race, a yellow race, red race? How come everybody uses that word that way? When all of us know that there's only one race, and that's the human race, period.
Mr. Isai Morales.
I want to stretch below the surface. It's not just get your education, because education is just another word for indoctrination if you don't know what you're being taught. And to me, that's important.
Big hand for the creator, executive producer, writer, director, all-around great guy, Mr. Carlos Portugal.
The biggest entrepreneurs, when you look at it, we are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us don't like working for the man. And we like to create our own jobs, and we like to create our own things. And Latinos, we have that, we're so smart and so good at creating that. And I think that goes for everybody here.
I think what you're saying is continually educate yourself.
Always.
And a big thing for Latinos, if there isn't a job for you, create one.
What we do every time for the Thought Makers is we talk to the cast and we take questions from the audience.
I think it's the most effective way to really tackle such heavy-duty subjects as diversity and racism and things like that, to put it in a comic way. And this USC study that came out found out that over 100 top grossing films, less than 5% had Latinos in them.
It was that 60% of Americans think that most Latinos are involved in drugs. 60%. So that means, where'd they get that? They watch TV and they see us on the bridge, they see us in these other shows, and they start to imagine that's who we are. And so that's what has to change.
We're Latino. We speak Spanish, it's a Romance language.
It is very romantic.
German and English is a scientific language, which means we'll get laid, but we'll never launch a rocket ship. So
There's a lot of stuff that we said that was very biting, but you know, that's what humor is. It has to be that way. You can't, even the Mecha guys, I mean, to tell you the truth is that there are a lot of kind of older machistas who are like, oh, how dare you say that? It's like, if we can't make fun of ourselves, then who are we as a people?
what's good about it is Latino filmmakers is important for two reasons. One, it's about Latinos. And two, they need to understand, and everyone needs to understand, that we are the ones that are really defining the future for America. And that future is inclusive, it's great, and it's going to be educated.
Give me some of that. Give me some of that.
What I love is the education here, what this does. This is your place. This is your town square. This is definitely the political season for Latinos. Am I right?
The media helped elect Donald Trump as the nominee.
I really don't want to say much. I stay quiet about that. I really do, because I go crazy with this one. You know?
If Latinos are the fastest growing minority in the U.S., when will we stop seeing our issues as Latino issues and simply see them as issues? If it's an issue that impacts Latinos, it's an issue that impacts everybody.
Yeah. Every time I watch the show, I'm like, oh my God, what did he say?
In a family, you can get together and you might have, 3 tias and 4 opinions.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of difference of opinion, right?
And it gets ugly, bro.
It gets ugly.
Yeah, especially if they're drinking or something, don't forget about it.
It gets ugly. It gets personal, right?
You know my intentions. I know you can go on now.
I had a hard shell, a real hard shell. You couldn't even look at me because I hate you, you know? Forget about this, man. See this.
Yeah. And then
So much freedom, man.
I know what's been on my mind. Just that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dean of the Transitional Studies Division, Dr. Luis Gonzalez.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to beautiful Oxnard College. I want to thank you for joining us this evening for the season finale of the Latino Thoughtmakers series. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to thank a couple of people. I wanted to thank Dr. Azari, our college president, our board of trustees, our chancellor, Dr. Bernard Luskin, and our vice president of student services, Dr. Oscar Cobian. I wanted to thank them for their continued support of this important program for our community and for our college. And with that said, I wanted to introduce to you our host, Rick Najera.
Thank you. Round of applause for Dr. Gonzalez. The fact that he has a doctorate is so amazing to me. I'm in awe of the education you're about to see tonight. This is Women Who Rule. This is our Latino thought makers. This is our town hall. And I really want to do this because, first of all, speaking as a father, I have 2 daughters. So once you have daughters, you become a feminist. So I really have seen how women in my own life have really impacted my life. My grandmother was a union organizer. My family, I come from a long line of very strong women who rule. And to me, that's perfectly fine. I wanted to celebrate women and what we're doing and showing what education does and showing the stories of Latinos you don't always see. Because yes, we have Edward James Olmos, we have a lot of famous people up here, we always do. But really, it's sometimes the people that may not be as well known that we get a chance to look at, that come from our own community.
Even in my own life, I grew up in La Mesa, California, a little town, and I had a neighbor who lived down the street, who lived in a chicken ranch. And I considered him very Mexican, much more Mexican than I was, because I went to his house and I saw a chicken walk through the front room. Now that's really Mexican. So I told my mom I was going to play with the Mexican kids down the street. She said, "You are Mexican, stay home and play with yourself." So I remember that, and there was another family that lived on the street, and they were Mexican well. They were not quite Mexican like we were Mexican, they were a different kind of Mexican. There were no chickens at all involved with them at all. Well, that family lived on the streets, Eleanor Choa, the first Mexican-American astronaut, and the other family lived down the street where the chicken was.